All right, it's your boy back again with another video. Phoenix Suns versus the Pels. I'm gonna say this: I actually predict the Phoenix Suns to win this game overall because I think their path to victory is easier. I think for the Pels to win, they have to work a little bit harder. Now, I'll say this: if the Phoenix Suns were healthy, that would be my synopsis. But I went and looked at their injury report this morning. It's kind of confusing because it has on one end it has Dario Saric listed as out, but it also has him listed as probable. I don't know which is true. Maybe that'll become clear later on today. Um, they also don't have Nader. Anybody who knows me know I was extremely high on Nader when he was with OKC. He was one of those guys I wish we would have picked up. Uh, but he's out. Without them, their bench is weaker. All they got really is each one more in campaign. So I'm going to give, okay, I'll look at it like this. Lonzo is not better than CP3, although I will say this. CP3 this year, his numbers are low. He's averaging like 12 points, like 5, 6 assists, something like that, on low shooting percentage. Like, he has not been the CP3 we know. Booker's numbers are down. He's averaging like 22 points a game, and I think he's on like 47% shooting. That may be because CP3 is taking shots, so he's getting less shots. I don't know. I'll have to go check that out. Could be Kelly Oubre's not there. I'm not sure. I didn't look in depth to see, if the minutes have decreased or something. That could be a thing. Ayton's numbers are right around where they were last year. Don't take that to mean he's stagnated. That could just be, okay, CP3's here. And even though he's taking some shots and stuff like that, my production is so much better overall as a player that my numbers don't actually fall off. They stay the same. His shooting percentage is a little bit lower. I mean, he's still over 50%. He's just a tad bit less. I think last year he had like 57%, but he's at like 51%. That 7% is huge, but at the same time, it's still 50%. So between them, the other starters is Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder. That's going to be a tough one. Jay Crowder is going to be on Zion, so Jay Crowder is going to play him tough. Steven Adams has his hands full with Ayton. What Ayton lacks, CP3 gives. And so CP3 can manipulate the defense to get Ayton the ball. Now, Booker and CP3. I ain't worried about Mikal Bridges so much. He's a good player, very good player for them. I don't think B.I. should get taken out of his game, but it's possible. But they got someone to attack on defense like Ayton and CP3, so I think they would be fine if they run the right sets, which I think they will. But the backcourt battle, I'm going to tell y'all right now, what's going to happen is CP3 has to be guarded by Bledsoe because he can't be on Book. Lonzo has to be on Book. And I would much rather Josh Hart start this game because here's the problem. If they're switching, Booker on Bledsoe is not good. If they're switching with Josh Hart as the two, Booker on Josh Hart is acceptable. They get no advantages, so they can't afford to switch them off. And CP3 gets no advantages, so he can't afford to switch him off. Either way, CP3's not going to get an advantage because Lonzo's so big. Bledsoe is on his height, so he just has to beat his man on his same level. I would much rather take Devin Booker away in the sense that he can't switch and make sure CP3 has no effective mismatch, then they can swap defensively. And now Booker could just shoot over Bledsoe. I would much rather Bledsoe guard E'Twaun Moore off the bench. You guys are going to laugh at me about E'Twaun Moore, but E'Twaun Moore can score. I don't care what anybody says. We had a game, I think it was the Detroit game last year with Lonzo when it was just, Lonzo and the bench guys, Jahlil Okafor. I think he had 25 points in that game. I could be wrong. It may be somebody else. It might be another game. But there was a game where E'Twaun got 25 points off the bench. I would much rather Bledsoe lock up E'Twaun Moore so all they have is campaign. That's my take. That's what I would much rather do. I would much rather insert Josh Hart for this matchup. He would play excellent defense and he would equalize the backcourt to some degree defensively. It would be more in our favor. Plus on offense, he spaces the floor so that now you have to pay respect to him. And when Lonzo is trying to go for mid-ranges or attack the basket, he's not having to guard CP3. Oh, Booker's going to lean out or something and put an arm out there, and he's got to protect the ball. And then, now I got to deal with Ayton at the rim too. Now it's just, okay, I beat CP3. It's just me and Ayton. Because I can just rise up and shoot over CP3. So it's just me and Ayton. They may opt to put Booker on him. Same thing. I would much rather they do that. Because now, okay, even in that situation, Lonzo attacks the basket, CP3 reaches his arm out to help if Book's on him. I give to Josh Hart. Josh Hart can shoot over CP3 even if he closes out. That is a tangible advantage you're going to have the entire game. All they got to do is just make the damn shots. So that's me. I would much rather have Josh Hart starting in this game. But the Phoenix backcourt is better. At least until I see that there's noticeable true decline over an extended period of time from CP3. Their backcourt is still better. If Lonzo can stop Booker, because I assume he's going to get that matchup, he needs to be, at some point this season, in consideration for all defensive team. We need Booker to have one of those 8 for 20 nights. And I'm hoping this isn't one of those games where they leave guys open and they start knocking down shots. And I hope Booker ain't one of the guys they leave open, because if Booker gets going, torch, it's over. It is over. I hope, I'm being honest, guys. The two guys I'm most concerned about is Book and CP3. Because if Book starts cooking, CP3's whole game opens up, because now he's got more floor to work with, and he's going to floor general his way to easy buckets for the team. So now it's like, damn, who do we guard? Do we stay on Book the entire game, or do we collapse on CP3? Because CP3 is smart enough to get his own shot. Now, we got Steven Adams. I think that him and Ayton are equal in the sense that I think Steven Adams is much more mature. Even though Ayton is the more talented player, I just think Ayton is going to put so much pressure on Adams that Adams ain't going to be able to find normal benefits in the game like he normally would. I think he's going to have to work harder to get the same effect, which is bad. And I don't think Hayes or anybody else off that bench, especially if CP3 goes to try to get Adams in foul trouble, we don't have anybody to stop them from attacking the interior. So Adams is going to have to play razor sharp tonight. Can he do it? Yes. But when I look at these kind of things, I'm like, okay, who has to do more to win the game? That's my question. Who has to do more? And ultimately, I find myself saying it's the Pels because of Bledsoe. If Josh Hart were in the starting lineup. Now, to close the game, like I told you, Lakers trio, Zion Adams. Lakers trio, Zion Adams, At the end of the game, I just need the game to be close in the fourth quarter when those guys come in. And I don't want them having to come from behind a lead. If they have to play and catch up to a lead, this game is over. I'm telling y'all, if they end up like getting a lead like the other, who got that lead the other night? Miami. If they get that lead like Miami got in like the second quarter, that game's over. Phoenix is not letting them come back. And that's going to be the thing all year. If there's a lead built because the bench gave them a lead, there's no way we're going to win that game. We do not have the pieces. Last year, our bench was better. Despite that we don't have Frank Jackson and some of these other guys, I got to at least give them credit for this. They could at least make shots. Frank Jackson can knock down some threes. Etwan Moore can knock down some threes. We clearly had Josh Hart off the bench, and sometimes we let Nickeil Alexander-Walker run point guard. And you had Melly playing small ball 5 with Zion at times. Those guys could knock down shots. So even if they were giving up a bucket, if they gave up a 2 and got a 3, they would still shrink the lead, right? They would still keep the game close. We don't have that shit this year. We just don't, And so, ultimately, I don't think this game is going to be won by the Pels. I just don't. Unless Lonzo, if we win this game, be upfront honest with you, if we win this game, it'll be because of Lonzo and B.I. It's going to be because of Lonzo and B.I. Lonzo has to have a really good game. And I'm not just talking about offensively. Yes, he needs to be in double figures. But Lonzo, defensively, he has to play perfect tonight. If he don't play perfect, they're not winning this game. You cannot, that backcourt is too good for you to have lapses on defense. This is why I want Josh Hart starting, because there's no tangible benefit for Phoenix. But that's not going to happen. So, I'm just going to pray. I already know they're going to collapse the court, and someone's going to have to get off. I hope that Phoenix runs a lot of pick and roll with Booker and Ayton. So, if you got to close out on somebody, you close out on CP3. I would much rather him shoot the 3 than Book. Because if Book starts cooking early, like I said, it's game over. It is game fucking over. We're not catching him. Now, if Book catch fire early and B.I. catch fire early, great. But the difference is, I think CP3 advantage gets better if Booker is on fire. I don't think we get a better advantage because of B.I. I don't think Lonzo instantly gets better because B.I. is on fire. I don't think Zion gets better because he's on fire. CP3 is okay, I got all this extra floor space. Let me get my mid-range going. Okay, Adams, you got to come out and guard me. Here you go, Ayton. Easy bucket. Okay, so now Josh Hart's going to have to help off his man, Mikal Bridges. Here you go, open jump shot. And now it's okay, guess what? Y'all forgot about my boy Book over here. 3-pointer. He could dissect the team. B.I., because he's going to be acting as point guard, he's not at that level. And if he gets going, they're going to give him the ball, period. He's going to demand the ball, and they're going to give him the ball. And if you don't believe me, Zion and the others have already basically said when he gets going, this was last year, get out the way and let the man shoot. They already believe this. If B.I. is on fire, he is getting the goddamn ball. So, ultimately, this game is going to be on Lonzo and B.I. The only exception is if Zion could get Ayton in foul trouble early by attacking the rim and making him contest those jumpers and foul him. If that happens, the game flips. So ultimately, if we're going to win this game, it's going to either be because Ayton got in foul trouble early, or potentially Booker. I doubt CP3 gets in foul trouble. One of them gets in foul trouble, more likely Ayton. and Lonzo plays exceptionally well. I don't think we're going to have a game tonight where he's like 6-6-4. You know, where he takes like 6 shots. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to show up to play. He might end up with a stat line close to that if his shots are missing. But I don't think this is one of those games where we're going to sit back and say, Lonzo played passively. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to show up ready to play, ready to compete, and give full effort. So my synopsis is this. Phoenix wins. I'm not going to give numbers and stuff. Phoenix wins. But there's a pathway for the Pels to win, and I gave you what I believe the pathway to the Pels is to win. They either have to get one of their stars in a foul trouble, or Lonzo B.I. have to play a perfect game. They cannot play. This team cannot have lapses on defense tonight. Unlike the other teams that we've played, Miami punished us. Toronto really couldn't punish us. The Spurs couldn't punish us. This team can punish us. So, ultimately, if we lose this game, those are going to be your reasons why. This is your boy with your pregame synopsis for the Phoenix versus Pelicans matchup tonight. I'll see y'all on Twitter. Y'all have a good day. Peace.